Some people believe that solar energy will be our saviour, but I'm here to tell you today that it's actually not. And you might find that surprising coming from a guy who's made a living out of selling solar for over a decade. So don't get me wrong, solar power is actually a no-brainer, and it is the smartest starting point, but kind of to Warwick's point, we've got to think about more diversity. Solar alone is no longer sufficient. Businesses and organisations need to adopt both a defensive and an opportunistic approach to their energy future. Solar should be seen as an essential part of a more comprehensive approach to their energy situations, their strategies and their technologies, leading to one destination, which is energy independence. It's urgent for every business to act now because we are on the brink of this crisis. We find ourselves standing on the precipice, and I'm not talking about the precipice at the beginning of a ramp up. I'm actually talking about we've gone through this ramp up, we're now at the other end, and we could be facing a drop off the edge of a cliff. We've been installing solar pretty well like mad for over a decade. As Warwick's graphs sort of showed you, we're sort of sliding down a little bit. And we're kind of been talking about how solar is going to meet all your needs, but we're never really quite reaching that ultimate destination. So it's time to acknowledge that mere words is not enough. We need a step change. And whilst solar contributes a significant amount of power into the grid, we're actually at this critical juncture. There is a shortage of solar power to meet our needs, whilst similarly, there's too much for our existing grids. And we can't stop. Our world is hemorrhaging. We have heat waves, we have pollution problems, and regardless of your political ideologies, it's evident that the energy that we do have could be cleaner, cheaper, and more reliable and more abundant. Renewable energy has the potential to shape our nation. However, instead of attaining energy certainty, we're actually sliding into, or Australia is sliding into energy uncertainty. And we should have achieved certainty a long time ago, but here we are just coming through an energy crisis last year. So this affects every business, every one of our clients, everyone that you work with. It has been affected. One of our clients last year was a small country RSL. They went from spending $150,000 a year to $450,000 for their energy for no change in their business behaviour. How is that going to affect your business, your client's business, your supplier's business, and who's going to pay for it? This is Australia's energy load profile. We use at peak about 25 gigs of power during the day. And you can see the different generation technologies with solar shown in yellow there, and black coal and brown coal at the bottom. This is our energy prices that most of our customers have been paying, and this is when we're turning off power stations. Now, over the next 3 years, we'll have taken out 25% of the baseload power supply, creating this void here. We are not installing enough solar to meet the 4.5 gigawatts of missing generation. So today I want to delve in a little bit deeper into why relying on solar, solely on solar, the yellow bit there, is no longer sufficient for businesses, and what can you do about it? And it's true that many companies, all our customers have taken commendable steps. We applaud their effort. They've incorporated solar, and we're meeting, on average, let's say 35% of their needs. Our customers are awesome and they're smart. However, there's a lot of customers who haven't moved. There are a lot of companies who haven't moved yet, and it's kind of bizarre to us. But it's crucial for every business to take more significant steps towards energy independence and energy security. Now, you might wonder why someone like me is starting a conversation about solar power's inadequacies, but it's mainly because my team, a bit like Warwick was just saying, we've been framing solar as part of a broader plan, part of a solution in the context of energy broadly. And so while we've been advancing, we've bid farewell to these aging power stations and outdated facilities. Consequently, we are facing a power deficit. And when power becomes scarce, a multitude of problems arise, threatening the grid stability, which in turn impacts price, business operations, continuity, quality, profitability, and overall business's success. As an indicator of the investment market, no major power stations have been built. Since 2009, the last one was built in WA. It's no longer able to renew its contract after 2025 and will be shut down by 2029. A pretty poor business case for anyone in traditional coal-fired power stations. The situation does not bode well for other investments in traditional forms of power. We can also draw insights from other markets. If we have a look over, for some reason I have a sick sense of humour and I like to watch the South African news. And I've watched this, they've got an abundance of wind, they've got quite a lot of solar, but despite all that, they lack sufficient spinning reserves and storage and other mechanisms. And in fact, they've had a blackout every day for over a year and a half. How can your business operate experiencing a blackout every day? So if you're in business and you're looking to prepare for your future, you need to consider these three things. One, solar has its limits. So whilst we can meet directly 30 to 40% of your needs off your rooftop, the remaining 60 to 70% must come from the grid. But where does the grid source its power from? We can put a lot of solar on your roof, but we can really only supply what's being used right then and there. If you consider these high-rise buildings, there's constraints on rooftops. We can't fit as much solar as you actually need. Maybe if you look out the window later today, we could fit maybe 30 or 40 kilowatts on one of those high-rise buildings. They're using megawatts at any one point in time. If we fill a roof, my favorite customer is a hammer. They sell red hammers. And we could fill their rooftops, but the grid actually refuses to take the power that they could generate. So we have to install zero export. Even if we could export, the business case is destroyed because we don't get paid for any excess power anymore. So there's no financial benefit to oversizing the rooftop. Even more bizarrely, in recent times, we've been forced to create a minimum import, as in our customers, even if they could meet all their daytime needs with solar, they are being required by the grid to draw in power from the grid on a constant basis at a certain level. And that's happening through South Australia and Queensland. So solar only by itself really has its limits. Point number two, storage technology is advancing and it is the key to our future. Storage serves as the best solution to excess solar energy, levelling out the grid and ensuring on-site savings and potential revenues. So we are witnessing increasingly compelling business cases. I didn't think it would move this fast, but for instance, we were just able to offer a 4 megawatt solar with a 5 megawatt hour battery, and we were cash positive from day one for our client. So we were able to offer that on a PPA and be cheaper than grid power. For a storage system, that's remarkable. It seems to me that storage, able to soak up surplus energy and use it at night, is just the beginning. We can offer that product at about 23 cents a kilowatt hour, but it gets even more attractive if we can play in and out of the spot market and provide grid stability services as well. We can get that price right down. We think that we could possibly get down to about 17 cents a kilowatt hour, which is now a bit of a game changer. But using storage, or storage rather, is a little bit of a land grab. There is a finite capacity of storage required on this grid. The people who move quickly on storage are the ones who are going to make the most money out of this. Because at some point in time, probably around 25 to 50 gigawatt hours of storage, the business case for everyone coming after that will be quickly eroded, because it's kind of a bit like the FCAS market, if you understand that. Once you own that territory, very hard for someone else to come in and build into it. The third point I'd like to make is taking the solar precipice seriously means striving for energy security and independence for your own business and for your home as well. Achieving energy independence protects businesses from unpredictable energy price fluctuations, ensuring stability in their financials and providing certainty in an otherwise very uncertain market. Moreover, the shift aligns with your ESG, your business environmental, social and governance commitments, creating a mutually beneficial situation for your organisation and the environment. So what does energy independence and energy security entail, and how can your organisations achieve it? Well, for over a decade, I've been forecasting the future of energy, and I can admit that all my predictions have pretty much come wrong. They've all fallen short. The chaos and costs that we face today were unforeseen. Our customers consistently achieve better financial results than we predicted. However, I am very frustrated with businesses' decision-making processes. Many companies have failed to make a move even just on solar. We've developed awesome business cases. We know how to sell solar for free. So we don't understand why. We don't understand why there is still a reluctance to embrace solar power, and more so now the next step, embracing storage and other technologies and energy efficiency. So you can't be slow anymore, business owners or key decision makers. The consequences will come at a significant cost to your business, to your bottom line, and more importantly, for your ability to operate.